Dating me is hard. The moment you stop giving me attention, I'm already single.
If a dude is not obsessed with you, remove him from the rotation.
Are women more attracted to nice guys or bad boys?
Bad boys, baby. I've had plenty.
So then why should men care about what women want?
They really don't.
But I mean, should they?
Well, yeah,
But then that wouldn't make him a bad boy, that would make him a nice guy, and then women wouldn't be attracted to them, right?
exactly. Then they find out and dump them.
One of the most important pieces of information that I gather over the years from dealing with women, if not the most, is that you never, ever get the women that you really desire, the women that you crave, the ones you really want to be with. You only get the women that you don't want. Now, look at your past relationships if you think I'm lying. How many women that really wanted to be with you that you really wanted to be with? Not many, right? Those are the women that were calling you and texting you, that were attached to you, that were trying to convince you to be their boyfriend. They were chasing you around. They were wondering, are you talking to other women? Are you doing this and that? They were trying to figure out what's going on with this guy. And then they want to see you. Then they would give you all types of sex. But the women that you were really pining for, that you were trying to manipulate and really game and try to get them to see that you're a valuable guy, you were just really trying hard. Those are the women you didn't get, right? And those are the women who were like, yeah, something's off with this guy. He just seems kind of needy. He's kind of desperate. And then she drifted off. And if you did get those women, you only had them temporarily, right? For a few weeks or a couple months. Then after that, they were like, I don't want to do this no more, because they seen through your facade. They seen that, this guy's not that alpha male that he claims to be. And women can really pick up if you're faking it to making it, right? So guys, the reason why women want bad boys, as that 80-year-old woman said that she's been with a lot of them, is because those guys, number one, have other women. They have an abundance mindset. And number two, they're always busy. They're always doing something. And number three, those guys don't care about those women. And it is crazy, I know, because a lot of you guys are like, man, do I have to act like I don't care about her? Pretty much. I'm going to be honest. The women that I've got in my life, and I'm quite sure you guys can attest to this, are the women that you were just hooking up with. She called you, she texted you, you said, hey, come on through. You weren't really concerned about taking her on dates and trying to wine and dine her and basically persuade her to be your girlfriend. You weren't doing that. You didn't ask her to be your girlfriend. Those women are like, hey, so where do you see this going? So are you seeing other women? Or they tried to leave a toothbrush at your house, or, leave a piece of clothing there or something like that. They were just trying to really get to you, because women want to be with guys who are laid back, who are stoic, guys who ultimately don't want a relationship, right? Now, some women will say, oh, I want a guy who wants to get married, who wants a relationship. But they rarely ever choose those guys, right? Why do you think there's so many women complaining about bad boys, complaining about dudes that don't call and text them back after a date or after a hookup? It's because women ultimately need validation and attention. Guys, it is their life source. It is it's oxygen for them. They will do anything to get the approval from external people or external things, right? So if they don't get that go ahead, that thumbs up, that, hey, I really like you. Now they're going to be confused and wondering, does this guy like me? They're going to talk to their friends. They're going to be looking up information. How can I get this guy to like me? Which is going to cause them to be more and more obsessed with you. Which is going to cause them to say, you know what? I think I should give him more sex. I think I should, call him. I could text him, right? Despite women reading up on dudes and saying, oh, well, if he's not obsessed with you, like the female in the second clip says, if he's not desperate for you, then you get rid of him. No. Guys, it's all a facade. It's fake. And the women want you to believe, because they just want attention and they just want fans, that you have to text me all the time. You have to call me. You have to communicate with me 24/7. And if you don't communicate with me, then I'm going to get rid of you, right? Then we're not together. They're lying, right? It's all for women to get more fans. And just think about it. I'm going to give you a perfect example. When you were a kid, or if you guys have kids right now, and those kids did everything they're supposed to do. They said, hey, Dad, I want a toy. I want a Barbie doll. I want an action figure. I want this video game, right? And you're like, hey, make sure you, get good grades. Make sure you, keep up with your chores and do all these different things and do what you're supposed to do. And then for Christmas or your birthday or for whatever special occasion, then I'll get you that video game. I'll get you that Barbie doll. I'll get you that action figure. And then when it came around, when those kids did what they're supposed to do, or you did what you're supposed to do, you got that video game. And your parents said, okay, cool, I'll reward you with this. And when you got that video game, you're like, man, this is so awesome. You were anticipating it, and you got that action figure, and you're playing with it. Or for the females watching, you got that Barbie doll. And then maybe after a week or two, or maybe a month or so, what did you do with that video game? What did you do with that Barbie doll? What did you do with that action figure? You got rid of it. It was sitting right in the corner or buried in that toy chest because you got bored of it. You really, really wanted it. You worked hard for it. You did your chores. You got good grades. You did what you're supposed to do around the house. You listened to your parents. You were on your best behavior. You got what you wanted. And now, play with it a little bit. Now I want a new toy. Now I want a new video game. Now I want a new Barbie doll. This is how women view men. Guys, I'm just keeping it 100 with you. This is how they view men. They view men as fans, something to play with, something to do, to entertain them. And once you give them what they want, once you give them that validation, that attention, the things that they're seeking, what will happen is they'll just say, okay, there's nothing to this guy. I finally got him to commit. We're boyfriend, girlfriend, but I'm going to say that I need space. And in your mind, you're like, man, I could have just kept hooking up with you, right? Have you thought of that? When you're dealing with a woman and you guys are just hooking up and friends with benefits or just having sex, and then she's kind of persuading you to try to be with her and everything. You're like, well, all right, let's just be together. All right? She's coming over, we having sex and hooking up, so might as well just take the next step. I mean, why not? Then what happens is you start to give her more attention. You start to give her more time. You start to give her more days out of the week. You start to give her more text messages. You start to call her. You start to tell her how you feel. All these different things, and boom, after so long, she starts to drift away because she gets bored. Because women need attention. They need that mystery. They need that pot to be stirred. They need some sort of chaos or confusion. They need uncertainty. Uncertainty, guys, is what causes women to become attached to you. And this is what the bad boys give women. The players, the Chad, the Pookies, the Ray Rays, the Tyrones, the guys that everybody talks about in the manosphere. These are the guys who give women uncertainty. These guys, over here one day, over here, deal with this woman, deal with this woman. And here's the thing. If these women can't lock these guys down, worse comes to worse, they say, okay, I'll just have his baby. To have some sort of lineage, to have some sort of attachment to this bad boy, this player, because they want him so freaking bad. Guys, understand that women need attention. They can't go without it. Some of them are worse than others. Now, I'm not saying every single woman that you get with or you happen to be in a relationship is going to leave you if you don't give them the amount of attention they think they deserve. But I'm going to be honest. Attention and validation is so easy for women to get. She can be an average to below average looking woman, and she can hop on a dating app or on social media, and she'll have a guy texting her, chasing her, messaging her, hopping her DMs. Women need validation. Now, I'll say this. They want the validation and attention from a certain type of guy, a guy that they really want to be with. See, all the other guys, they're just fans. They're just dudes that are trying to get a date, they're obsessed with the females. Again, women don't want those type of guys. They want the guys who are not paying attention to them that they really want. Because if you're just a guy who's like, okay, I'm going to ignore this woman to see if I can get a reaction, she's going to look at you like, she got to just blow it off because she never really found you attractive or she didn't want you anyway. She was just keeping you there, keep you on a bench just to get some, feel-good text messages, some validation to pass the time and everything like that. So guys, rule of thumb, you never get the woman that you really want, only ones that you don't want. And the bad boys, whether they know it or not, instinctively, this is a type of mystique and body language that they display. They display the behaviors of a guy who is nonchalant, who's more focused on his purpose, on his mission, on his goals, or other women that he has in his stable. This is just the way it is, guys. And it's going to frustrate a lot of men. It's going to confuse you. But the more you deal with women and the more you start to look back at your past history, the ones that you got with, or the ones that you had sex with, versus the ones that you didn't really get or couldn't really lock down, look at your behavior. Look at what you were doing. Look at the text thread that you're actually sending right now to women. Look at it. You're probably double, triple texting them. Guess what? You're not going to get that woman. She's just looking at you because women know game. Intrinsically, guys, they know it more than you know it. This is why I'm putting you on game so you can one up them and you can know what you're doing out there if you decide to continue to deal with them. If you want a woman, you have to be your best self. You have to know who you are. You have to love yourself. You have to value yourself ultimately more than your girlfriend, more than your wife, because that's what's going to keep her attached to you.
You